Where are ya? God. Yeah. Oh, that's all right. Turn it like that. I think that's it. Okay, I wanted to give you an update, right, of what happened with the Arizonian Cacti Cowboy's Cactus. His last remaining cactus, the only one he's got left over, right? Yeah, from the Arizonian Cacti Farm that he says he was forced to sell because I don't like cactus, right? Well, look, that is neither here nor there. You know, he's not going to stick me with that one. But anyway, look, beside the point, look, he wanted to come with me, see, on the trip to Moscow. Well, I wasn't really keen on the idea, but I thought, oh, well, look, he'd sold his $4.3 million bloody car to come, so really, I couldn't really say no, could I? Anyway, yeah, anyway, look, we had to share a taxi to get from here on the mountain down to the Coolangatta Airport, right, at the Gold Coast. And because it's $50, you know, so I thought, oh, crikey, I'll have to share a taxi with him because $25 is a hell of a lot better than 50, isn't it? You know. Anyway, so I said, yeah, okay, I'll share a taxi with you. And of course, I'm in the taxi. I've been packed and ready to go, you know, since dawn. Anyway, he's running out at the last dying minute, you know, this bloody knapsack on, his backpack, and because he travels light, you know. Anyway, and he leaps into the taxi, and I said, he sits down on the seat and he's got this bloody cactus plant on his lap. And I said, hey, hang on a minute, cowboy. What are you doing with that cactus? I said, you can't take that with you. He said, why not? He said, I'm going to take it as on-board luggage. I said, no, you're not, mate. No, look, it's covered in spines. That thing's a lethal weapon, you know. They're not going to let you get through customs with that. I couldn't believe it. He said, but I'm not going to stick anybody with it. I said, it doesn't matter what your intentions are. And I said, besides, it's not only you. Somebody else, it could be a terrorist on board the plane, and he might grab the bloody thing and do some damage with it, you know. And I said, you know, imagine if he got down into the bloody cockpit with that. You know, God, just a bear thinking about it. I said, no, you can't. They won't let you on the plane with it. I can tell you that right here and now. They will not let you on board with that. And he said, oh, yeah, well, it'll be safely stowed up in the, you know, up there, you know. And I said, no. I said, not only but also, I said, the other reason you won't get it through customs, I said, it's full of liquid. They don't like fluids. They don't like liquids, right? As I can testify, because look at my hair. I've got no hair conditioner, have I? And you know why I haven't got any hair conditioner? Because they confiscated it from me, didn't they? My very, very, very expensive Moscow hair conditioner. Yeah, it costs a bloody fortune, and I don't normally pay that much, but I did just because I was having a holiday, and I thought, oh, why not have a spend up, you know? And then only to have it confiscated. I couldn't even leave Moscow with it. God. Anyway, not only but also, they took my bloody body lotion. Now look, I never had a wrinkle, not a wrinkle on my body until they confiscated my body lotion, right? And now I'm covered in them. And Cowboy said, well, you are 76. I said, look, it's got nothing to do with anything. I said, I tell you, I never had a wrinkle until they confiscated my body lotion, and now I'm covered. Look, I'm absolutely very bloody angry about it, so don't talk about it. Don't bring that subject up to me. Right, anyway, getting back to him and his bloody last remaining cactus plant. Anyway, I don't know what happened with the cactus plant because he's sitting down the back near the toilet. It's the only seat he can get because he booked so late. And, of course, you know, I'm up there, you know, enjoying my independence in economy light. And anyway, I'll tell you what, we'd arrived, right, you know, at the hotel, and he had a room up somewhere else, and I had my basement room, you know, down below. I didn't, well, actually, it was a mistake. That I didn't know it was a basement room. I booked it, the basement room, but I didn't realise it was actually in a basement. But a lot of people have said to me, oh, well, you did that because you were scared of all the bombs and the missiles. I said, no, it wasn't that. No, I just didn't know it was in the basement, right? But anyway, look, that's beside the point. Look, he had a room just on the top floor, just outside the receptionist desk. I happened to know that because I was told, right? I was told where he was abiding, where he had taken up residence. Now, look, anyway, getting back to this whole business of the plant, right? I'm walking up the streets of Moscow one day, right? And I passed a garden shop, right? I just happened to glance. And there is his bloody last remaining cactus plant in the window of this Moscow garden shop, right? Yeah. And well, you might ask, how did it get there? Well, that's what I asked myself, didn't I? I thought, well, there's only a couple of scenarios, right? Either he had it confiscated at the Moscow airport, maybe he got it all the way through China and everything, and they didn't take it off him, but when he got to Moscow, before he could emerge from customs on arrival, they nabbed it, see? Now, okay, just say customs had it. Just say they had it. How did it get into the Moscow garden shop? Well, there's a couple of possibilities. Either somebody in customs nicked it and sold it off, or you know how they get this accumulation of confiscated items, they might have sold them off or raffled them off or something, just given them away to the employees. I don't know. That could have been how it got there. And I hear you ask, well, how do I know it was the last remaining cactus plant from the Arizonian Cactus Farm? I knew you'd ask that. No, you won't get that past me. Look, I am a very, very conscientious recycler person. Yeah, I recycle everything, right? And at one stage, you do remember that I had to buy chickens because the price of eggs was too high, and I was the convener for the tuck shop up at the local Tambourine Mountain State School, and I had to buy chickens, right? Well, of course, you know, I resigned as a convener, as you do, and you get sick of it after a few years, you know. I resigned and, well, didn't know what to do with the chickens. I couldn't eat all the eggs and, you know, all that. And I didn't really need them anymore, and there's a bit of a hassle, you know, people coming around, and, you know, all the time, you know, aprons on and flour on their hands, and, you know, last minute need eggs to put in flaming sponge cake, you know, they've got to be fed up with that. So I decided, no, chickens have got to go, you know. So anyway, had 6 gross of egg cartons in the shed, right? So I had to do something with them. So I thought of paper mache, right? So I'd bring a stack of them up, stick them in the laundry tub, run water on them, you know, leave them overnight, right? Next morning, you just let the plug out and squash them down, you know, pound them down, right? Then I thought, okay, go out and get a couple of plastic pot plants, empty ones, and then you just line your plastic pot plant with the paper mache or the, you know, the soggy egg cartons. Shape them very nicely and firmly against the edges, you know, and get it all, trim the top of the knife, yeah, right, there you go. Very carefully carry it out in the yard and let them dry in the sunlight. Have a nice bright sunshiny day, right? Well, then when they're dry, you can paint them up all different colours. You see, it's easy to get them out. It's just like emptying a jelly out of a mould or a cake out of a cake tin. When it's cooked, you just go around the edge like this with your knife, right? And you tip your pot plant over, give it a bit of a shake, and it falls out in the ground, see? And turn it upright, and you can paint it any colour you like. Yeah, see, I had blue, red, green, orange, all different colours. But anyway, I decided at one point to do a white one. And you might say, how do I know it was my white pot plant? Right, how do I know? How do I know which pot plants are mine? Because when I paint them, before the paint's dry, I get a bobby pin, and down on the bottom, and quite visible to public view, I just sign it P.L.V. Pamela Lillian Valmont. Those are my initials, right? And it's right there. You can't miss it. And so no matter where my pot plants go in the globe, they've got my initials on them. They're initialed. They can't be mistaken for anybody else's pot plant, right? So when I saw this pot plant, this white pot plant, with the Arizonian Cowboy Cactus in it, the last remaining one from the Arizonian Cacti farm that he sold, when I saw it, I knew straight away it was mine, because there's the initials, right? There they were. I peered in the window and I could see it, P.L.V., right? Pamela Lillian Valmont. And I said, yes, undoubtedly, that's my paper mache pot plant, right? And I thought, now, how did it get here? As I said before, well, it could have been something to do with the customs department. But then again, maybe not. Because, let me tell you this, I was taking a walk in the cool of the evening, you know, and I happened to walk by this very, very swanky restaurant, you know, and I look in the window, and there's the Arizonian Cowboy sitting there with his, you know, his napkin tucked in to his shirt up here, you know, and he's surrounded by these luxury dishes, you know. It's bloody black caviar, and there's a waiter there, you know, and he's got this white serviette around the big bottle of wine, and he's showing him the label, you know. Sir, you know, he nods, yeah, that looks very nice. And waiter pours him the wine, you know. And he's got this massive bloody steak on his plate with all sorts of things around the edge of it, you know. And I thought, well, I know he likes his steak, but that must have cost him a fortune, you see. And I thought, how long he's been doing this? I mean, how many meals has he been eating out? I mean, you know, there am I with my takeaways down in my basement room. I was living very frugally, but he's down at this swanky restaurant, you know. I thought, gee, well, I don't know how he can keep that up. He only got 20 grand for his vehicle, even though it was worth 4.3 mil, because you couldn't sell it. No, you know, no millionaires in Australia. You know, he just had to sell it to the local milkman. You know, and because he was in a big hurry, see, to go to Moscow, he just had to get rid of it quick, you know, got to get somebody to take it off his hands, as it were. Well, then, this opera singer wanders over, and she's got this very low-cut evening dress on, you know, and honestly, the nipples were almost falling out. And she leans over his plate, where, you know, he's got the steak there, and the titties are shaking up and down, and she's singing away, you know, and almost falling in his bloody meal. And I thought, well, that's all very well, but he would have had to pay for that. And behind her, there's an ensemble, and they're playing the violins, you know. You know, and she's singing away. I thought that would have cost him a bloody fortune. I thought, I bet he had to sell his last remaining cactus to pay for that meal, because you know what probably happened? He couldn't pay for it. He probably ran out of dough, and it was either sell the cactus, which was sitting on the chair beside him, he always took it everywhere he went. He either had to sell the cactus or wash dishes till the wee small hours of the morning. And I would guarantee you that he would sell that last remaining cactus rather than wash dishes. He doesn't like washing dishes, you know. Oh, he'll do it, but, you know, prefers to cook. He likes, he's one of these people, you know, he likes to cook and make a big mess and then just leave it all over the place for me to clean up, you know. Well, anyway, look, I just thought I'd tell you about that, because I think that's a very, very interesting little piece of information. Now, the other thing he was going to try and do, he said, he was going to try and make out that the cactus was like a pet, and that, you know, he needed it for comfort. You know, it was a mental health cactus, and to keep him, you know, relaxed and so on, because he was a bit scared of flying. And well, he might have got away with that, but then when he got to the Moscow airport, different story, because after all, he's finished flying, he's off the plane, isn't he? That's right. And that's when they might have confiscated his last remaining Arizonian cactus plant. In my paper mache, painted white pot plant. Initialed with my signature, PLV. You can't mistake it. And if you're ever anywhere in the world and you see these paper mache pot plants initialed with PLV, you'll know that's me. That's my pot plant, one of mine. And I tell you what, they're a limited edition, because even though I had 6 gross egg cartons, well, that's a finite number, isn't it? And they eventually ran out. So what's out there now, that's it. No more. So I reckon the price is going to be at a premium. I think it will go up. Yeah, I think they'll be hard to procure eventually. I could pretty much guarantee that. Yeah. So keep your eye out just in case you run across one, because, you know, grab it while you can. Yep, grab it while you can. Yeah. No more coming. No, that's it. That's the finish. That's the finish of the supply. Anyway, look, just thought I'd tell you that, a little bit of information and a little bit of an update, you know, on what's been going on. And anyway, I'll talk to you soon, eh? Bye.